I can dial in. So I'm going to try and call my glacier up, my glacier. So let's give it a shot now. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hi, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh, wait a moment, wait a moment. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hi, I can see you too.
Oh, beautiful.
Hi, how
Hi
are
there.
you? Nice that you could join us for a chat.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, nice to see you. We're just going to have a kind of conversation, and I thought we'd start with like maybe how I first heard you. I mean, I remember on that day it was really hot, and I'd come walking up the valley, probably in the blazing sun, looking at my boots and the path ahead, just trying to figure out what I had to organize to get all the measurements done for the day ahead. Poof.
Yes, I remember you very fondly pointing towards me, and that big backpack you're always carrying. I'm wondering, and I was really wondering, what are you up to this time? I mean, I actually must say I like you to see you struggle to climb up my steepest parts.
Yeah, well, that's a bit mean that you like seeing me struggling, but anyway, okay. I remember that, like always, when I got the first glance of you, I was kind of shocked. Everything looks so different each time I visit, and usually, I'm sorry to say, it doesn't look good.
When Lindsey's puffing up the hill, she's always wondering what happened. I mean, every time I can tell you what happened. I could have told you what happened, but I mean, okay, we had some snow, soft snow, some heat waves, and then followed by storms of biblical proportions, as you would say. And then, of course, I mean, she always comes when the weather is nice, of course.
Yeah, well, quite. I'm a fair weather friend, if you like. But anyway, in the lovely sunshine, I started measuring the stakes that we use to see how much the ice has changed. So it's just a stake in the ice, a tape measure, note it down. And I remember actually at these first stakes I was measuring, it looked like quite a mess, honestly, more dirt than ice left.
I mean, come on, you're always looking at my scraggy edges. Sometimes I really wonder what scientists are here for.
Yeah, sorry. But I measured a thinning of about 4 meters since the last time I was there, which was only a month or so before.
Come on, if I could just tell her, I thought, like I could tell you how much I melted. Not 4 meters, but minus 3.98 meters. As far as I have understood, the scientists' work is all about nanometers and millimeters and centimeters, right?
Oh yeah, it's like that sometimes. And actually, for example, that day I was really focused on finding out how much ice was left at that part, when it would be lost completely. And I was using, do you remember, I was using that radar device, and I was quite stressed because I didn't really know how to use it. You have to set up the battery supply and lay out cables and set up the computer and trigger a connection and then trigger a signal. And I'd only been shown how to do it once. So I was, yeah, stressed is probably the word. And anyway, this thing, it puts a radio wave into the ice, and then it bounces off the bottom and comes back up, and you can measure it. And like an echo, the time it takes to go down and up, it tells you how thick the ice is left there.
These instruments are so cold and tickling. I mean, it's not a really good feeling, I must say.
Sorry about that. I guess they are. But anyway, in the name of science, the measurements showed you were super thin there, actually, only 10 meters or so left. And I thought, kind of, that'll probably be bare ground by this time next year, or maybe almost by the next visit. And it's weird because although I know you're melting away, and I really do, like, I still find it startling to really measure it, to really see it disappearing, see you disappearing. And actually, in this case, when I found it was so thin, I really thought I'd made a mistake, actually.
That's why you took so long fiddling around. You must have measured it over and over and over and over again. I mean, crazy. You measure, poke, and prod me to decide if it takes like 5 years or 7 years. Makes a little difference to me if it's going to be gone anyhow. And I remember thinking, what are you doing? You know, isn't it counterproductive? Like, you driving here melts me down. What are the numbers again?
Oh yeah, you're talking about that study I told you. So it's something like every kilometer you drive in a standard car melts 15 kilograms of a glacier ice somewhere in the world by the end of the century.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, so you drive here, measure the melt that you partly caused with your driving here. I don't really get it. So I thought, I mean, anyhow, what are you doing with all this data? So listen, you know, I got a little bored looking at her measuring me over and over again at my thinnest parts. So I started to sing my cold mantra, the prayer for the cold, the glacier mantra.
Yeah, and I mean, it was weird because I was sitting there doubting myself and my measurements, and then suddenly I could hear you for the first time, actually.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful moment. Come on, Lindsey, let's sing it together with the audience. Maybe they want to hear it and sing it together with us.
Okay, well, I'm a bit embarrassed, but I'll do it for you. And, you know, it'd be supportive if the rest of you joined in.
So isn't this something like this unmute thing? Maybe you can unmute yourself and then I show you my mantra and we can sing it together.
Okay,
So,
you show us the way.
The words I use are Sanskrit words for the cold, ice, cooling, like relating to winter, winterly, a drop of water or frost, ice. And that first word is Sina. Second word is Sitala. Third word is Haimana. And then the fourth word is Brushva. I sing it once and show you, and then you join in. And maybe we can sing it 3-4 times, doesn't matter how we feel. So
Okay.
we take, before we sing the mantra, we take a deep breath in. And then we sing. Sina, Sitala, Haimana, Brushva. 1, 2, 3, breath in. Sina, Sitala, Haimana, Brushva. One time. Beautiful.
I think we should do it again. Yeah.
One more time. We should do it again. Beautiful. So this is how we actually met, Lindsey and I.
Yeah,
Did I ever
cool.
tell you, Lindsey, that you're very beautiful?
What, me?
Yes,
well,
you.
thank you. But honestly, what's beautiful about me?
Your commitment and your interest and your tiny little face.
Yeah, okay, that's funny. I think you're so much more beautiful.
Oh,
And
thank you.
yeah, and also there's a sort of such an elegant patience to you, glaciers. I mean, you've been here so long and taken so long to build this place of yours.
It does not feel so long to me, honestly, but yes, of course, it has been quite some phases in constructing this amphitheater, as you would call it.
Yeah, and now we humans, we're driving you out.
But actually, from my perspective, everywhere is home. I just quite like this spot here for a while. So I won't say that you're driving me out of here or out of my natural habitat, but you're pushing me into a different place. And maybe, yes, I think maybe you are closing a door behind me.
So no coming back like the times before.
Yeah, come on. I mean, all this burning of the dead substances, which I don't absolutely get. I mean, why burning dead material when you have all this living technology? Yeah, come on, push me out of here. I mean, isn't that just for the love of coal, like petroleum? I mean, petroleum, seriously? None of us would have ever guessed that you humans would really start to dig out that slimy, black, creepy mass of the dead.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, us people, I mean, we always want more. And I think oil was a game changer. I read somewhere that a barrel of oil is like 100 horsepower days of work. And now we burn close to 100 million barrels a day. So we took that chance, and you're just the collateral damage.
I mean, come on, but instead one can harness energy out of almost everything. I mean, out of living things. For example, you are energy, I am energy.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I've heard people talk about oil as ancient buried sunshine. And then in that light, like burning, it's a form of cheating the system. We burn in a day what might have taken a millennia to make. And I guess, I mean, maybe that seemed too good to be true, and maybe it is.
But yeah, even, I mean, don't you have a title for this natural connectivity by now? The thing you always ignore it. I mean, don't you call it something? Wait a moment, I just heard it recently. Isn't it something like nexus thinking, like to describe that water, food, and energy is anyhow connected and deeply dependent to each other?
Yeah, the Verbindung, huh? Yeah, I've heard this nexus thing. And it seems so obvious to me when I'm observing you in your place and how everything changes together, you know, co-evolves.
Yeah, but then you put too much emphasis on this linear time and growth. I mean, if you really want to give us a label of that kind, why don't just give us like circular? I mean, in fact, you folks could try thinking more in circles, like some giving back and as well taking. I mean, look at me, look, all of these things cycling through me.
That's true. And it seems true about a lot of things. But do you think we're getting better? I mean, there's a lot of talk of the circular economy. Maybe it's getting a big deal these days, no?
Oh, no, not this again. Economy. Economy is already the problem. Just circular. Why adding that shady word, anyhow?
But isn't it a step in the right direction, at least? I mean, I totally know what you mean, but sometimes I don't know if I should be optimistic or pessimistic, really. And when I think about it, sometimes I think the only thing I really know is that when I'm with you, I always want to stay. It's somehow very peaceful, but also exhilarating, completely exhilarating at the same time.
Yeah, why not? Come on, just do it. You people are always wishing, wanting, and then in the end, you're not doing.
Yeah, but I always have to go back. There's all these things I'm supposed to do.
Oh, like what? Does it really matter so much? Lindsey, did I tell you that you should actually start to learn how to breathe? I mean, when I was stationed in Alma-Dablam, my home, by the way, many monks stayed with me for nights and days and weeks, wearing not more than their red robes, just sitting there with me. I mean, a real visit.
I see, yeah. I guess I should definitely try that before you're gone.
Yeah, here we go again, wishing I'd stay, but not doing anything about it anyhow. I'll be snowing down in Kamchatka or lapping the shores of the beaches in Indonesia. I doubt that you'll be thinking of me at all. And if, why don't you come and swim with me then instead and start to measure my water density?
You're a funny one. But seriously, I wonder what it'll be like in your valley in like 20, 50 years.
I can tell you what's below my sister Parsterze. There's a huge, green, beautiful meadow waiting for the future cows to come and graze.
Yeah, okay, I don't mean that. I know that's kind of coming. I just mean, I wonder, how will it feel different, you know, without you? I mean, I see what's happening to you now, and I feel a kind of grief, I suppose, already. And so then I wonder what that'll be like when you're finally gone.
And I wonder if you will ever come.
Oh. Hello? It looks like we've lost her. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, she's gone. I'm just going to go and see if I can find her in the main room. You should maybe hang out and grab a drink.